Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video on me testing the difference with damage between attack crit dam and HP defense Mael. So I will not be using actual UR gear on Mael because currently I only have an attack crit dam set, which is perfect, so it would not be fair for me to do a HP defense set, so I currently do not have one made, and I currently do not have the resources to make one either. But we'll be using other people's gears. We'll be doing with team and without team. Of course, there probably are better teams that can actually be used, but I will be using the same team for both. But let's get into it. First, we'll do attack crit dam. I'll show you the gear. I'll show you what team I'm using, and then yeah, this will be tested on Gold Dungeon, by the way, and I'll be playing it myself instead of playing autoplay. Anyway, we'll get into it. And now we are back. What I'm running is that this is Mael by himself on a team. Of course, I know Cyril Link does not work, but Cyril has the highest attack on out of all my characters, who is 6'6", so it gives him the most stats. He is attack crit dam, so these are the stats he's getting because he is 6'6". He does have relic. I will not be changing Cyril's set, so Cyril will be attack crit dam for both attack crit dam Mael and HP defense Mael. Currently, this Mael is running attack crit dam, as you can see here. This is my ultimate 1 set. So everything is perfect but the defense pieces. Defense pieces don't really matter as he's not based off defense, he's based off attack. I'm also not going to be running any artifact supports because, people may not have cards, people may have cards, so it's better just to be safe and not do it. Also not going to be running any food. So first we'll be doing attack crit dam solo, HP defense solo, and then we'll be doing in teams. The teams will stay the same, the gear on the teammates will stay the same, nothing will change. Just Mael will change. Of course, RNG in the battles will differ. What I mean by that is, I may pull a golden card one time, I may not pull a golden card another time. Just pull a golden card, literally as I said that. Of course, Mael's going to patience. His passive will be active. His damage reduction, as you can see here. This one just has a much higher attack stat. So I'm hoping this one shots. This is attack crit dam. Of course, this is not his actual set, but nearly 500k, not too bad on level 2, given that. We're now going to use the single target card here. $362. Also at the end of the video I'll be going over what attack crit dam is better on and what HP defense is better on in terms of my experience and from what I have seen online of other people using it. Because of course, I'm not 6'6", so I can't say, oh, he's good in this, good in that, and I don't have all his outfits as well. But I can give you a free-to-play standpoint. Is he good without outfits? You need outfits for him to perform, and from, I'll go on about ungeared as well, because I've been using him in ungeared, and I have a opinion on him in ungeared as well. So ultimate 1/6, full wipes, 716k, not too bad. So that was attack crit dam Mael. Wasn't the best, but I've seen the ultimate 1 hit harder with a single target, but I guess he does have death. His stats are way better than Mael's. Mael's stats are very bad. Mael requires other goddesses to perform, where Escanor is a one-man army. Anyway, we're now going to get on to HP defense set. We are back. The gear at this time is Liz, my Ellie set, which is completely perfect, which is what we'll be using. These pieces here, I believe this is a perfect piece. No, it's decent though, and this is one-off. So these are 2 good pieces for attack. This is the CC, looking around 62k, still not higher than my ultimate 1, who is, attack crit dam, but we'll get into it. Same, nothing's changed. Cyril is still running attack crit dam, no food. Of course, do bear in mind, I have completed the 4th constellation, I'm nearly 9 million box CC, stuff like that, so, it will vary, but I am not running cards to try and make up for that. Once again, we'll go for a merger. So last time, he was able to full wipe with a level 2, let's see if he can full wipe with a level 2 now. I'm going to use this one, and hopefully, actually no, we'll get the ultimate. It'll merge into an ultimate, but that's still not too bad. Anyway, let's see how much damage he's going to do now. Still does full wipe, 396k, not the worst. Of course, we're going to keep the ultimate for the final phase. His damage is good when he crits, right? It's very good when he crits, but when he doesn't crit, that's when his damage is horrendous. Like, he's a spike card, and so when he doesn't crit, it's half the damage. Of course, it's going to go third. He should, if he attack, will he attack lower again? Okay, so last time we were attack lowered, this time we're not actually attack lowered. Mael's stats can be lowered because he is on PvP, and his passive to stop things from being lowered only works in PvP. Of course, he has given 7% all stats, which is very good. You know, I'll get into more stuff like that later on and the reasons it's good and so on and so forth. 768. Decent damage. That was HP defense. Of course, Sariel Link doesn't work, but of course, Mael is using his own Grace. But overall, the difference isn't that much. But of course, when you get into PvP and then you're versing like top tier characters like the Ultimate One, Melee, you know, Liz, other Maels, you will have problems critting. His crit chance isn't the highest, but now we're going to try it on a team. First, we'll try attack crit jam again, and then we'll go on to HP defense. Anyway, I'll see you when we're on the team. As you can see, once again, we do have the Ultimate One set on. Mael. This is on the team one this time. It's got 58k CC. We're running Rem as a link because Rem has a very high attack. I could use Rimuru. I don't really have any good festivals that are 6/6 with high attack stats, which is kind of unfortunate. We've got Sariel here, rocking attack crit dam still. Yep, I'm not going to be changing him because attack crit dam will give us more stats as Sariel buffs your teammates by his own stats. Margaret is running HP defense, and then we have Bar on the back for the attack related stat increase. Of course, I'm also going to be playing this. This is the basic stat one. I'm going to actually remove all of the cards to ensure that it is a fair test, and that people may not have this card set leveled up, or may not actually want to run cards. But you're looking at about 290k CC. It's pretty good. So now, of course, my team will be very buffed. Mael will have the power. They have 3 teammates, 3 goddesses, which means his stats will be even higher now. 305k, nearly 30k attack. Not too bad, so we'll use the Margaret buff, we'll do the AoE, and we'll just merge with Margaret. Because I mainly just want to use Mael cards, just because of course this is a comparison with Mael, rather than the goddess team. That damage comparison is insane. That was like 500k, 800k now. Just added 2 more goddesses on the field, that's it. I will use a level 2, as well as getting Mael's ultimate at the same time. That damage is like phenomenal. Like the damage increase between having no goddesses and goddesses on the field is stupid, and that's the reason I think in PvP he suffers, because one goddess dies, team practically falls apart. Of course, we get the ult off here. I don't want to use this because this will wipe, so we'll just do this and this. We'll see the damage. Damage was around 796 last time. You know, nearly 2 million now. Like, the difference is insane. We went from being 700, like, 90k to 800k-ish. 1.8 mil. Insane. And now we'll get back onto it when we're running HP defense. Of course, Barn in the back is increasing attack related stats. Normally on a goddess team in PvP, you might be running Barn, but you will also probably be running what's his name? Nanashi, because his relic is really good. Defense stats, crit resistance stats, always useful. Anyway, I'll get back to you when we are on HP defense. Once again, we are back. Now we have the HP defense set, which is the same list set. Make sure it is fair. 13k attack, you know, rocking 16.4k. Higher CC, but, you know, not always having the highest CC is the best thing. Once again, we'll do the same thing we did last time. Of course, there's a Mael showcase, so I'm not going to try and let these other two do it. If you're wondering, Sariel is still running the same attack crit dam set, so the stat increase should be the exact same. Still much better, but definitely not the same as last time, looking around 200k damage loss. I'm going to move cards here, and I'll pop the buff then. Of course, the ultimate may look stronger because we'll be popping the buff, but of course that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's just how it's going to be. And then of course we'll merge these for hand space. Or what I could do is I could actually stall for a turn, what I might do is just stall for a turn. We'll have an extra stack of Margaret now. As you can see, that didn't actually do that much, but it's pretty good. Bear in mind that was a level 1, and it was only with the Margaret buff. Sariel was buffing as well, but still decent. I'm going to stall for a turn here, just so we lose the buff, so it is more fair. Because it was like 1.8 million, so we'll just do this. We'll lose the buff. attack lowers Margaret patiences because the amount of damage reduction they have. Get more patience. Sorrel does take damage, but Sorrel is an old character. He's not running HP defense. The other two are running HP defense. So now we are going to Mael ult. The only difference this time is that we have an extra stack of Margaret's passive. But apart from that, identical. He's got all of these stats. He's got decent crit chance. Don't get me wrong, he just needs high crit chance and crit damage. Sorry, high crit chance to be fine. And now we're going to ult, and we'll just get rid of these two cards. So it's about 1.799 million. The damage is like pretty much the same. But of course, it's like, can he only crit? Is the reason he's hitting that hard is because he physically can't hit any harder because their stats are like, because their stats are so low as it is. You know, the difference doesn't seem the biggest, but I think if you were to match them up against like meta characters today and meta teams, it would be much different, like the play of how it works. So I'm going to give you my overall thoughts. I've been using him in Ungeared recently, and he's not the best. He misses lots of crits. He needs a support character to increase his crit chance, as well as being a goddess, because goddess have a lot of basic stat boosts, and there's only one sub-stat booster, which is, of course, what's his name? Green Sariel. What's her name? Sorry, Green Sariel. And that only boosts crit damage, where Mael already has a hell of a lot of crit damage. All he needs is crit chance. Because if I was to compare his crit resistance, his crit resistance is much lower than other characters, and his crit chance isn't much higher, so it's like, he gets crit a lot. Escanor has like 131 base, like crit chance. Mael has like 119. I think you can get Mael to like 126, 127 if you buy all his outfits and weapons, which is still, it's much higher, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to guarantee you crit every single time, especially if people are using melee and, you know, Chandler, and Chandler doesn't lower your stats, but Chandler's a very tanky character, even if you do crit him. But I will say that I do believe attack crit dam is probably the way to go. You'd run everyone else HP defense. You know, all the damage reduction from Margaret, Nanashi, stuff like that would really help him tank, so you wouldn't really need the HP increase. And also, if you do get the Nanashi buff, you do get the 20% HP as well, which is also very good. But I think overall, attack crit dam is good for PvE, HP defense if you really want to go first on PvP. But PvE is where he's going to shine, I can see, especially with Freya's Relic, which of course boosts goddess stats, and as well as turning her into a goddess, which is kind of cool. But I do think that's where Mael is going to shine, because that damage. I do wish that the stat lower thing worked outside of PvP, but of course they do have to make it balanced in some way, and the way to do that was to, of course, remove that, because if not, he would be completely broken for any demonic beast, as he would practically make the 40% lifesteal lower nothing, which is like the main reason why you use Escanor sometimes. You know, he can't have his lifesteal lowered, so he's already got a lot of lifesteal, he can deal lots of damage. But I do think that in the future, all they need to do is just make a goddess that is an overall good character, give them like a decent, like, I don't know, increases crit chance passive, and don't make them a seasonal character. If you make them a seasonal character, you'll completely ruin the meta. Because if you think about it, demons do not have a seasonal character on their team. They've got P-Melee, Esteros are both Vestal characters, Chandler, SSR ticket, Cusack and Chandler, Green Chandler, who will both be on the banner on the SSR tickets. The only seasonal character I would say it's an optional character, you could run Cusack as well, is Ominous Nebula Zeldris. But he's obviously, of course, on a lot of banners. He's not like the rarest character. I have 4/6 now. So I do think that if they would just add a few more goddesses, maybe no, we'll go to a race. We'll sort by race. Talking by race is the best way to sort things. Just all they need to do is make either a new Ludo, give him, or, you know, if you want to do a Margaret Ludo, or do a whole new named character that isn't the Archangels or Liz. Because if we were to count the Archangels, how many variants of Liz are there? I'm also counting Elate and Danafor Liz as a copy of Liz, even though you can run Elate and Liz on the same team. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 15 different variants of a Liz. And how many goddesses are there? 22. So there's 7 non-Lizes in the game. That's it. We need more, and if you think about it, you got two Tomios, 2 Sariels, 2 Ludos, and a Margaret. and a Mael, sorry. So you've only got 2, 3. So you've got, of course, the 4 Archangels. That's 4 different characters plus Liz. You've got 5 different characters to really pick from, which isn't the best. If you think about Liz, has only really got 2 good characters, and that's OG Goddess Liz, of course, Light Liz, and you do have Hostess Liz, but Hostess Liz is more of a PvE character. She can also be used in PvP, but her CC is too low to really be doing that. Of course, you have the 2 Tarmiels, both links. They're not really good on the field, even though Red Tarmiel does, increase basic stats. Still somewhat useful. Green Sariel, an actual good link and a good character. Red Sariel, more of just a link now. Ludo is becoming more and more useless after every festival. First you had Escanor, can't have his stats lowered. Then we had Mael, we thought, oh yeah, he might be good now. And they had Goddesses that have complete immunity to all debuff. Like, they can't have any of their stats lowered at all, even like their increased stats, which is insane. And of course you've got Margaret, who is just still an overall good character, provides damage reduction, stat increase, increases her own attack for the buffs on the field, and gives damage reduction and increased damage dealt per Archangel on the field, which is pretty good. Of course, at 6/6, I do not have a 6/6, but of course at 6/6, you're surprised. So she also gives utility, which of blocking skill effect for 2 turns, which is very good, as well as lowering ultimate damage by 30%, which is also very good as well. So overall, I think if he was to get a new good team, he would be very good. I do think that attack crit damage is probably the way to go for now, as you're mainly probably going to be using him in PvE. In PvP, Escanor, like, even Escanor can still one-tap, which is insane. Like, the fact that he is still able to one-shot the newest festival has I literally had 20% damage reduction. I had 3 Archangels on the field, so that's 15% damage reduction from Margaret. That's 35% damage reduction without even like me playing a card. He still was able to one-shot me, which is insane. Like the fact that Escanor can do that. HP defense isn't really the best for him. You do lose out on the 20% crit damage, which is like, okay, don't get me wrong, 228% crit damage is good as it is, right? But if I can just come here, go like, just give him this set, boom, 248, right? That's a lot plus his stats. His stats, like, his crit chance very high, crit damage very good. Now I'm gonna go to a crit damage based character, 260. He has Freya only has 12% more crit damage, and is a crit damage based character. And you've got Mael, who is a crit based character because he wants to crit, because he has Spike, nearly has the same amount of crit damage with attack crit dam on as well. Like, this is insane. If he's able to crit, attack crit dam will go heavy, will go so hard, but it's just trying to find that one character. But overall, attack crit dam, if you can also make a HP defense set for him, go for it, but I don't think you really need to put that much into it. I used the guarantee, like the super good pick pieces, because I just really couldn't be asked to make a set for Mael. Also because he's used for the new Demonic Beast as well. I thought, screw it, give him a good set, it'll make him last. It just means I don't have to, keep upgrading sets, which is really irritating after a while. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.